You've actually been smoking the perfect amount, and am I correct in saying you use it to self-medicate? 93% of New Yorkers go to therapy, so whether you're born in the wrong place, with the wrong parents, the wrong amount of motivation, or the wrong gender, you want energy to be focused on who's to blame for that happening, rather than the antiquated what you can do about it.
I'm supposed to go to this baby shower, but I just have too much anxiety.
The world needs to make events more accessible for people who have too much anxiety for events.
Like, I'm having trouble even cleaning my room.
Allow me to show you an article about how people who don't clean their room are actually more intelligent and more empathetic. So now let's go through the list of people that have been holding you down again. Whatever choices you made in life, they were the right ones. Or at the very least, it was your only option given your circumstances.
I'm trying to finish my resume to get a job, but I just keep going on Instagram.
It's probably because you have PTSD from your last job. So if I showed you this article about how employers shouldn't even be asking for resumes?
Yeah, you know, why take personal responsibility that teaches you the core basic principles of sovereignty and individual liberty when you could just blame everyone else? Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Orwellian of WeAreChange.org, and yet another different location. And that absolutely doesn't matter in your life like the majority of mainstream media headlines and articles right now about the inbred royal family. Lots of nonsense there, as of course Bill Gates is literally building your Orwellian nightmare with the track, trace, and database company that we're going to be getting into in this video that is soon to go public. This, along with new guidelines from the federal government, with also Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum now working on to create an artificial sun. I'm not joking you. The headlines just keep getting more and more absolutely bizarre and insane in 2021. And most likely soon, satirical comedians like Ryan Long will most likely be out of a job since most satire is becoming reality. By the way, we played a small clip of Ryan Long's new video in the beginning of this broadcast. If you want to watch the full video, we have the link to it down in the description below. He does great work, and of course you could follow him on Ryan Long Comedy. Now, our media landscape is changing very rapidly, but I think it's very fair to say that it's also degrading very rapidly with fluff stories about absolute nonsense, personal differences, baby mama drama, as of course the world is consumed, about some interpersonal drama between the British monarchy. And as a reminder here from independent media, the British monarchy has always been awful. And if we would give 1/10 of the attention that this latest scandal is getting right now to things like what Prince Andrew did, the world would be in a better place. But of course, the larger scandals of Mr. Prince Andrew and his good old buddy, Mr. Epstein, who's of course also friends with Mr. Bill Gates, we're going to be talking about them in just a little bit. If we would just get an iota of coverage on that issue, man, the world would soon realize how messed up a lot of the very powerful people in our society are. But hey guys, Burger King just tweeted out a very sensationalistic, attention-seeking tweet that of course is working, as they tweeted that, quote, "Women belong in the kitchen," trying to of course create artificial drama, artificial controversy, outrage, anger, a part of their larger employment efforts, trying to of course hire more women to work in their kitchen, most likely for a minimum wage as they're subsidized by state-run welfare. Sorry, that's beyond the point. But this mass corporation then followed up that controversial tweet by saying that only 20% of chefs are women, and that, quote, they're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by, quote, empowering female employees by first making everyone think that they're disrespecting them. Again, this is just the dumbassification of our society, which, why am I even talking about this? But again, this is becoming the new norm, as it also seems like we're going through a sort of cultural revisionism, deleting, targeting, and attacking fictional cartoon characters, which is becoming the new norm now, the new idiocy, because I still want to know, where did this fictional cartoon hurt you on your body? Please, physical body here, I don't have a graphics team, but if I did, I would have a physical body here, and I would be asking you guys, hey, show me where you got the boo-boo from fictional characters like Pepe Le Pew. And hey, because we don't have a graphics team, we could, if you support us on wearechange.org/donate, by supporting us in a one-time payment, checking out our new members area, which by the way, now has over 6 videos in there. Today's video will be my speech at Anarchapulco, which is happening at a secret, undisclosed location, which I'm going to pan the camera around and disclose the location of right now. Yes, that's the view that I'm watching right now. It's the best one for natural sunlight. I'm going to be giving a speech here, 4 o'clock, for Anarchapulco. You can get that speech as soon as it's done and I figure out the technical difficulties of uploading it to our members area on lukeuncensored.com. There's other ways to support us without even spending a single dime. We, of course, have Cash App, Venmo, you name it, physical mail, checks, cryptocurrencies. We got it all. Click the link down in the description below, and we can't thank you enough for all the support and allowing us to still continue be here as an independent media organization going against a lot of odds. Sincerely, thank you very much. Now, today, Reuters came out with a very interesting article in their technology, media, and telecom innovation section, which headline reads, quote, Bill Gates backed Evolve to go public via blank check merger in $1.7 billion deal. Now, glancing at the article, you might not think it's a big deal. Oh, Bill Gates, of course, a billionaire, one of the world's richest people, investing in something, his company going public, having somehow the amazing foresight as if he was able to see into the future about a company that's going to make him even richer at the cost of destroying people's civil liberties and individual sovereignty. Okay, it's fair. Maybe the average person won't think that reading this article. Some people might just glance over it, but there's a lot of important implications in this article, in this company that's being backed by Bill Gates, that is very important to note that, of course, Reuters failed to do so. Now, Evolve is being characterized as a, quote, crowd safety technology. I would characterize it a little bit differently. I would call it a blood-sucking technocratic monster that wants to suck out any remaining civil liberties and freedoms you have in this world. I might be a little hyperbolic in my kind of understanding of it. But hey, let's go on. The company is going through a merger with a blank check company, which values the company at $1.7 billion. Again, very cut and dry article here, 4 paragraphs, not much, but when you start looking into details, you really start seeing some of the bigger and larger implications, especially in the way that society has been changing and this company and their larger plans of profiting from it. Now, of course, Bill Gates is also working with a venture capital firm, General Catalyst, on this specific company that shortly, Reuters mentions, uses artificial intelligence technology and sensors to screen people in public spaces, including stadiums, hospitals, schools, and entertainment venues, eliminating security gaps prevented by metal detectors, according to its website. And when you look at the claims that this Evolve technology company makes, they are, according to themselves, the artificial intelligence-enabled touchless security screening leader in the field that is, quote, dedicated to making the world a safer place to live, work, learn, and play by helping to protect innocent people from incidences of violence. That last part I had to alter because of the YouTube algorithm. Now, this company has, quote, already, according to themselves, screened 50 million people, which they say is only second to the TSA. And if you're comparing yourself to the TSA, yeah, that's not a good look. Now, of course, the company in their press release is bragging about all the money that they can make, but diving a little bit deeper, the technology that they are building will, of course, have larger implications on civil liberties and privacy, which, of course, they mask by talking about a, quote, seamless security experience, and talk about how their technology will be great because of the sickness in 2020, that they, quote, will help to address problems like health and weapons, as they're promising to beat out metal detectors while also allegedly having the technology to screen people's skin temperature in 2 to 3 seconds, followed by a 2 and 3 second check to see if the person has weapons, which they plan to roll out to major venues and places all around the United States. And essentially what they're describing here, as what I first thought of is, of course, this scene from Total Recall that was released in the 1990s, which is, I think, by and large, exactly what they're describing here, only on yet another level, which, of course, will be integrated into the post-2020 sickness world. As, of course, the world has changed, and now Bill Gates' company is saying, well, we could track, trace, and database everyone with our new latest AI technology, so, quote, life could go back to normal you just have to give up all of your civil liberties, and the promise of it going back to normal, it's just like a promise. As of course also Americans are finding out about this the hard way, as the federal government just released new guidelines talking about people who received the shot for last year's sickness still should continue wearing masks, practice social distancing, washing their hands, and if meeting people who also got the shot and people who didn't get the shot, they should also do the same. Which is really making a lot of people wonder now, why in the world would I take the shot anyway then? And according to individuals like Andrew Fenberg, these new latest guidelines, quote, all it is going to do is make people angry and make the shot seem useless. And I think he has a point. Now, of course, the government also released that people who are shot up, along with the other people who shot up, that they can meet without any restrictions. But still, by and large, the bigger talking point that I'm trying to make here is that there have been many promises, whether it was 2 weeks, whether it was just a little bit longer, whether it was this shot, that of course many establishment figures are reneging on. Bill Gates now bringing a company to the market that's promising to do the same, while of course tracking, databasing everyone else in this world, as he of course was previously the major funder of GMOs and Monsanto. Currently, he is the largest farmland owner in the United States. He has huge investments in tech and the medical space, which is creating something called the Bill Chill, preventing many people from even criticizing him and his efforts. He has beachfront property, even though he's warning people about rising ocean waters. His family has very strong ties to nefarious organizations. And now the friend of Mr. Epstein is coming to you and saying, yes, I will keep you safe. I will keep you secure. Trust me. Look at this great company I have that, of course, is set to profit wonderfully from a society that he is directly influencing. When you look at the industries that Bill Gates is a part of, and when you look at his philanthropy, when you look at his, quote, activism, you see a direct correlation with what he's pushing to what he's going to profit off of. So the fact that he's behind this company, that this company is going to go public, is not a surprise to me and shouldn't be a surprise to anyone else. Skepticism should always be your best friend, especially in the wild 2021, as of course there's even talk about robo-waiters replacing real waiters, all of course for your safety and security, not for the benefit of any special interest or major corporation. Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum just came out with this trippy video talking about creating a, quote, artificial sun using UV light, which they want to put out in the general public to, of course, protect you, and will, quote, sanitize public areas, which, quote, wants to fight social isolation, which has been essentially created by the government following the protocols of large organizations like the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, the World Bank, the IMF, and other globalist institutions that are calling for a global reset and, of course, fighting climate change and saving the environment. And, for the normies out there, that sounds like a good thing, but when you look at the special interest, when you look at the bigger elements of society and the institutions behind them that actually cause a lot of these things, coming to you saying that you have to limit your life in order to stop it, it's a little ridiculous. And when you look at some of the protocols that some of the individuals like Bill Gates and his previous family, Ted Turner, and individuals like Sir David Attenborough call for, they're a little bit hyperbolic and ridiculous, specifically with David Attenborough. He's the British guy with a very tone voice that talks about nature, that literally described human beings as a plague and said that poor countries should be deprived of food as population control measures, and he's calling for a massive population reduction. I wonder if he's also a friend of Mr. Epstein. Wouldn't surprise me, by the way. Most of the top people in our society are connected to Mr. Epstein, whether alive or not, until this controversy has some legitimate justice. Until the thousands of innocent children finally get some kind of restitution, some peace and calm, knowing that all the bad men and women involved in this are actually held accountable. Until that happens, it's best to be skeptical. That's my point of view. If you think I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, let me know why in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I'm going to try to upload my speech right away today on lukeuncensored.com. It may take me a little longer. Sometimes I'm an absolute boomer with technology, but I'll figure it out, and I will still continue to do my best to make sure that there's a video for you almost every single day on Luke Uncensored, which of course, 50 cents a day. Thank you so much for joining me in that quest, which I'm having a lot of fun doing. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.